and girls, welcome back. I got a new pattern here for you today, something I've been working on and just getting a chance to get it on film here. What we have before us is called the Rock Caddis. A couple different things I've been messing around with. This ultra chenille, trying to burn some of these products to see how they react. I had tied a pattern earlier in the year that's been doing great for me. It's called, another caddis pattern that uses a similar type technique. That's the Commander Caddis. It's just bigger, using more of a mop material as opposed to this little chenille. But some of the other things that that we see on this pattern here, I have horsetail for the antennas, just metallic black bead. The dubbing I have here is a gray squirrel, and what I have here for the wing on the back is kind of the stubs of all the CDC I've been using. So I'll show you how we get to that end of things and what we like. What I like about this is just the contrast. We have a black wing. I've tied up half a dozen or more different colors and things like that for the wing. The black looks really good. What we're going to be using today is just called a rusty spinner. So it's kind of brownish, but it contrasts well, between the light tan body and the kind of darker orangish brown dubbing that we have here. I saw this caddis coming off when I was down a little hill, and I wanted to debut the pattern down there. I just didn't have the right conditions, but I've had it in the water twice and I've caught 2 fish on the first cast, so it kind of sells itself. And we're gonna put some more time into this and kind of make it develop as we go along, just like with anything else. So let me show you the ingredients here. 3mm tungsten bead, that's black nickel. What I have on the hook here is 5065 by Fulling Mill. All of the Orvis stuff. We have an Orvis shop up the road here in Ligonier where I get a lot of my hooks when I need them, and they're switching everything over to Fulling Mill. So same hook as what I have been using. For the CDC, we have here rusty spinner. These are very small feathers. That's why I picked them. The black ones that I have are a lot bigger, and I have a whole bunch of little stubs of CDC, that I've been saving, for this. So the horsetail that we have here, and then the chenille that we're using, I lost. This is Orvis. This is Ultra Chenille Tan. And let's get into this here, guys. I'll show you what we got going on. This is a pretty neat tie. Really easy. Thread that we're using is Semperfli Nano Silk Black. And I do want to coat this whole hook just to try to take some of the shine off of it. Essentially, this is an extended body caddis. So to try to protect that hook a little bit so it doesn't shine, maybe it looks like legs instead. That's kind of the idea. Okay, so what we're gonna do, get a piece of your chenille. I have a pair of pliers here, and I'll show you how I'm gonna put that in. I feed that the whole way to the back of the pliers, and just make sure that everything is underneath or inside of the, the pliers themselves. When I cut this off, I leave probably about a 1/4 inch like this. Now I'm not locking these pliers, and that's important. If you've ever tried to do this type of thing, I'm kind of learning it myself, different techniques and stuff like that. If you heat this too much with pressure, you're gonna destroy the bulk of the chenille, okay? So all we're gonna do is heat this a little bit. I'm not squeezing it, with the pliers, but the idea is that, you want to kind of melt this tip and then just run a little bit of heat on the sides. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so the when we take this out of here, don't touch the pliers, they're hot. The thing that I liked about this process, for one, you can see the little grooves that it puts in it just from the heat. Now that's, if I squeeze this and heated it, this would come out like a crispy little french fry. But a little bit of heat, it still has that flexibility to it, but it also flattens it out a touch. So that's a neat little effect. So when you tie this on, you do want it to be extended back over the body, or back over the back of the hook. But the body part that you see up here, hopefully you can see this. This isn't like heated, it's just a regular chenille. So it'll suck up the water a little bit and create a little bit better bulk, similar to like mop material. So we're gonna bind this down really good on top of the head here. And then I'm gonna wrap this in open wraps back the hook. Open wraps because I want to create a little bit of segmentation on it. And I take it back basically to where the heated part of that was. And then I'm just going to cross the other direction on the way back up. Bind this down. Okay, and that's what we got. We're gonna cut off the excess. Make sure that's bound down well enough. Get this bead twisted the way we need it. Okay, next part. Gray squirrel. This one's like a brown mustard color. I use this for another pattern, and I'm using it for everything now because it turned out so good. The reason, or the name, Rock Caddis, this squirrel was a roadkill. That was something I'd never done before. I was driving out to a stream and a guy in front of me macked this squirrel right over his head, and I was like, you know what, I need a squirrel. So I jumped out, grabbed the damn thing, ended up harvesting it. Now I got enough dubbing here for a couple years. So roadkill squirrel, RK squirrel, RK caddis, roadkill caddis, call it which one. Okay, next, after we get that on there, I'm gonna get a piece of CDC, and picking one size-wise is probably important. I'm gonna take these little fuzzy ones way off the top. What I want to have happen is I'm gonna mount this here as long as the body, okay? Essentially, CDC is gonna flow a little bit. So you're gonna, when this gets wet, these CDC are kind of gonna come together as we're floating through the thing, create that impression of like maybe a flowing wing, something along that line. So all we're gonna do with this, tie this on, take it up, Make sure it's on top. Okay, that's kind of the impression that we want. So that's flowing through the water. You get some action. Okay. Next, piece of horsetail. Like I said, if you guys can get a hold of this, it's been awesome for me. I put this right behind the bead, okay, and put a little tension on it. I'll go behind once or twice just to keep the angle right, and then in front to lock it down. Make them the same length. Now we're just going to secure all that. Whip finish. Trim that off. Now it's time for preening. Get your brush. What we're going to do is just make little circles. I don't want this crazy buggy, because you're kind of defeating the slim purpose, or the purpose of a slim body. So try to brush some of this out, but I guess that's a preference. You just want that impression. Now we got a third string in there. Okay. There we go, boys and girls. The Rock Caddis. It's catching fish. I can't wait for this fall. I put this thing to work. I don't get out too much in the summer, but yeah, some changes that you can do. Okay, I showed you the black one with the black wing. Okay, here is another one that I made that's kind of got like a CDC puff on the back, which turned out okay. I haven't fished this one yet, but yeah, I'm curious on what it looks like in the water. This might be the better option, but yeah, something different. Tie some up, go catch some fish. All right, guys, Rock Caddis, go get some. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you again soon.